Hello, and welcome to Through the Monocle. Today, we will be discussing Quentin Tarantino's picture Pulp Fiction from 1994. We will be watching it and then reviewing it afterwards. As always, I had a stroke, Grant Ingram. And joining me today, it is the John Travolta to my Samuel L. Jackson. It is Grant Skillen. How you doing, Grant?
Good.
The question is, what is Grant eating today? No, other Grant. Hershey's. What is it? Halloween?
I don't know. No, it was yesterday.
That was yesterday. This is the first episode of a new month. It is dropping on, I think, the 8th, though we might try to squeeze it out early for other reasons. Anyway, this is Quentin Tarantino month. So today we're talking Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction has a Rotten Tomatoes 92 with an audience score of 96. If you're taking bets, mine is that Grant's going to be the 4%. But
Put it at a 4.
No. You're going to be the 4% that didn't like it.
Mm.
Unless we're critics, and then I guess the 8%, whatever.
I don't think I have enough. There's no way I can consider myself a critic. There's just no way.
Yeah, you didn't like Tombstone, so you failed.
Yeah.
You failed.
Well, you liked The Last Jedi, so you failed.
I don't like The Last Jedi. I like it better than Rise of Skywalker, but hey, that's not saying much. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch this movie. It was 1994. It stars Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, John Travolta, Bruce Willis. Let's see, and your mom. I'll go ahead and pull up the IMDb real quick just so we can do some trivia. Because obviously we're going to want to do some trivia.
We're going to be here for 3 years, so
We
might as well.
Be here for 3 years. This movie is fantastic, and I refuse to say otherwise. It won an Oscar. What Oscar did it win? I'm curious. But the full cast: John Travolta, Uma Thurman, other people. It was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated for Best Actor for John Travolta. It was nominated for Best Actor for Samuel L. Jackson, or Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor for Samuel L. Jackson. It was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. It was nominated for Best Director. It won Best Screenplay written directly for the screen, so Best Writing, and it was nominated for Best Editing. Good movie. Stars John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Laura Lovelace, Phil Lamar, Frank Whaley, Burr Steers, Ving Rhames, Paul Calderon, Bruno Gallagher, Rosanna Arquette, Eric Stoltz, who is Marty McFly in Back to the Future. And if you get that reference, you are automatically entered for whatever we give away this month. Jerome Patrick Hoban.
Give away this month?
I have no idea. Probably. Who was Marcellus? Oh, Ving Rhames was Marcellus Wallace. All right. That's the cast. Yeah. Anyway, without further ado, Grant, are you ready to watch some Pulp Fiction?
Is.
Okay. 2, 1, go.
Your hand was behind my phone, so I couldn't see your hand counting. Very good, though. Early fact, because I have the IMDb pulled up, this movie only cost $8 million to make.
That's crazy.
They made money just selling the rights for $11 million, and then made over $200 million at the box office.
This movie is one of my favorites of all time. I will say Jules also really liked it. So if you don't, I'll hate you.
This is, as some people would say, one of the movies of all time.
Yeah. This takes place in the same universe as Reservoir Dogs, and John Travolta's character is the brother of Michael Madsen's characters from Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is good, but I don't think we're going to cover it this month.
Need some coffee?
Yeah.
You're breathing in your mic.
Your mic is breathing.
Better catch it. Your fridge is running. You better catch it.
Yeah. I love this scene. Gosh. I love that they're just having this conversation in a diner.
Okay, this is the guy who is in She-Hulk. That's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Yeah, I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, and he's
He's
what's the
Abomination.
character's name? Yeah.
Yep. He's a good actor too. Garçon means boy. Told you. I've seen this movie like 7 times. I love this thing. A bit so. Again, love that they just have this conversation in like a random diner. She just looks crazy.
Crazy?
Crazy.
I was crazy once.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Whoa. Your crowd control. I love you, Pumpkin. I love you too, honey bunny. And I'll execute.
Good to see Uma Thurman in an actually good movie this time.
Yeah, I can't wait till we meet her in this one, though. That wasn't her, for the record.
I can't hear you over the movie right now. Hold on.
Turn the movie down a little bit, then, dummy.
I am. What do you say?
I said that wasn't her, for the record.
Who was that?
That's just somebody else. We'll meet
Are you
Uma
sure that's
Thurman
not
in a
her?
minute. I promise you, man. I've seen this movie 7 times. She's on the cover. That was Rosanna Arquette.
Okay. Oh well. Close enough.
Harvey Keitel's in this movie too. I forgot about him. Even though he's like the coolest part of this movie. Mr. Wolf.
But you see Ohio State's number 1 in the CFP rankings.
I did.
We talked about that already.
K-State's number 23.
Mm-hmm.
What? Also, for the record, I'm not eating anything tonight. I'm sipping on Pepsi and a Dr Pepper.
Pepsi
Thank
and
God
Dr.
for
Pepper?
yeah, why not? Thank God for Panera.
Is it a mix of the two or two different drinks? Okay.
Pepsi, actually, Dr Pepper, Pepsi. What do you think I
Why
am?
are we getting
11?
the why are we getting the credits at the beginning of the movie?
Because it's designed to look like an old movie, which is where they would put the credits at the front. Like
Hmm.
Tarantino is very what's the word? He writes a lot of love letters to cinema. This is one of them.
He's a freaking nerd.
Well, it's supposed to be like a 70s kind of movie.
Hmm.
And that's like kind of the whole aesthetic, right? That's why it looks like an old comic book, like the cover does, or the
Hmm.
poster does.
I didn't
There's
realize
a,
the Rangers were up 3-1 on the Diamondbacks.
wow. As everybody can tell, Grant is thoroughly invested in this film.
I'm not invested in the credits, okay?
I want to point out that Danny DeVito is a producer on this movie. Danny Mother Truckin' DeVito. I love Samuel L. Jackson with hair and the goatee. It's true. Grant, do you know? Also true.
Play Big Man.
The 1964 Chevelle Malibu convertible, driven by Vincent Vega, belonged to writer and director Quentin Tarantino and was stolen during production. In 2013, a police officer saw two kids stripping an older car. He arrested them. While looking at the owner of the vehicle, he found the VIN had been altered. Turned out it was Tarantino's stolen car. The owner had recently purchased it and had no idea it was stolen.
Nice.
2013. This movie was in production in 1993. This is just one of those scenes you don't talk over. The dialogue's too good. I love John Travolta. I love this debate.
That's what you meant when he said he quoted the Bible, right? The Holy of Holies.
Oh no, we'll get there.
Oh no,
We got a minute.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you'll have to give us the context when he quotes it.
Oh boy.
Sam L. You know what I'm saying? I love that this is just like a super casual conversation they're having walking into this place.
Mm-hmm. About the guy they're about to go see.
Yeah. Well, not about to go see. About the guy they're running a job for.
Okay.
Take care of him. For the record, in this film, the F word is used 265 times. It's like number 3.
Breathing.
Sorry. So Samuel L. Jackson's role was written specifically for him, but Paul Calderon almost won it. But so it was written specifically for Samuel L. Jackson. But this other guy almost got it. So L. Jackson flew back in. I don't know why I call him L. Jackson. Jackson flew back in to audition again and then got the role that was written for him.
You're breathing in the mic again.
I gotta figure this out. Can you hear me breathing now?
No.
This is a tasty burger. That is how that works, by the way. It's like, for example, if your girlfriend was a lesbian, that pretty much makes you a lesbian.
A what?
If your girlfriend is a lesbian, pretty much makes you a lesbian. Samuel L. Jackson is like the most charismatic person on screen at any given point in time. Like, he just exudes swagger. And that haircut, man, complete with the lamb chops. Flock of seagulls.
Open the door.
Hey, I'm sitting here.
I'm laying here.
The code is 666. Fun fact, we never find out what's in that case. So people have been theorizing about that for 30 years.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Sit down.
Yeah, you just shot his friend.
Well, allow me to retort. Told you. So, Grant, we're going to need context for that quote. Biblical
For
logic.
Ezekiel chapter 25.
Verse 17. Come on, man. You want to do this for a living.
Okay.
I'm kidding with you, man.
I know.
I'll give you the context for it because I'm curious. This is a prophecy against Ammon. No, specifically this is against Philistia because the Philistines acted in vengeance and took revenge. There's less to it, at least in the NIV. But I'm betting this is KJV because it just seems like it'd be KJV. I'm gonna give you the
Well,
KJV.
he said probably was.
He said what? Well, it's not KJV, so probably paraphrased. But still, it don't. This is such a cool movie. Like, it's just aesthetically cool. This is back when Bruce Willis was the man. He still had a little bit of hair up top. It's a lot of money being handed over there. There is one word that Tarantino likes almost as much as the F word. Just a heads up.
Okay.
And just a heads up. We'll talk about it more in the review because it comes into play later. But yeah, I love the Band-Aid on the back. Like, just man got a Band-Aid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like George in the background rocking the sunglasses. Cracks me up a little bit. I'm talking about your background, Grant, not the movie.
Oh.
That is Paul Caldera, by the way, who almost won the role of Jules.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just to confirm. My name's Paul, and this is between y'all. This is one of those movies though that like I love movies that aren't adapted from anything, that like only exist to be a movie, and I like this. Those are the best. There aren't a lot of them anymore. Like
Yeah.
everything used to be a book. I hate piercings as like a general rule. So that scene always gives me the ick.
I mean, ears are fine, but I feel like
Yeah.
anything else I think's a little tacky, personally.
Right. And like I don't have a problem with ears. And I don't have a problem with like I don't know, maybe a nose ring, maybe. It's
Personally, eh.
but like Jules has one here, and like one here. And like I don't mind like ears. Like
Yeah.
do whatever you want to your ears. They're weird, but like anything else is just no, thank you.
Yeah. White people.
I love just the casual racism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heroin, man. You know, I was drinking Coke. Now I'm drinking straight heroin. Okay, so maybe that wasn't Patricia Arquette earlier, because Jodie's or Rosanna Arquette is Jodie. I don't know who. Oh, Amanda Plummer is Honey Bunny. My bad. I forgot her name was Honey Bunny. Straight to execution.
Make casa soup casa.
Grant, that is a needle.
No way.
That is John Travolta.
And you're an idiot.
That's a needle being held by John Travolta. That's a spoon. At this point, I exist just to annoy you and have anxiety. Those are the two reasons I exist. He's relaxed. Cool.
As high as a kite.
Well, depends on how high your kite is.
It's about to reach the sun.
Oof.
Rest in peace.
Your kite?
Yeah.
Darn. Rip. The added touch of the crickets is nice here. The music in this movie is really good too. Like, I don't know what you think of the movie at the moment, but the music is just kind of on point. Tarantino was so desperate to get her as Mia that when she refused the role initially, he called her up and read her the script himself until she signed on. Disco. Was the son of a preacher man. Again, it's just so aesthetically cool. It's like the 70s. It's Hall & Oates. Ooh. Also, he has a thing for feet, just so we're clear. Like, one of his movies, he wrote a scene where Uma Thurman is like pouring liquor down her legs, and somebody like drinks it off her feet, and then casts himself in the role of the person who is drinking it off her feet.
Mommy.
Yeah, apparently, gosh. Jackrabbit Slims. I also love the don't be a fun fact. I was talking with a bunch of the guys yesterday, and we were with the like athletic person at the school, and we were talking about various teammates, and somebody was said to be a square. And the athletic woman points at me and said, "I figured you'd be the one that's a square." I said, "I'm 100% the square, and proud of it." And 6. Zorro, deep cut. I also love that this is a retro diner in the 70s, right? Like, or in that kind of vibe. Get your kicks down on the corner, Lincoln and 46. So the question is, Grant, which has the better diner, this or the Aviator?
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of this yet.
Fair enough. The bellhop.
Wait, is
Checks out.
okay? Burger less cooked is not as good as a steak because you don't know where that meat came from.
That's not necessarily true. It depends on how it's done. I like my burgers medium rare. That's just because I don't like cooking my burgers, but whatever.
The difference with ground beef is like with a steak, if there's any bacteria, it would be on the outside. So in searing it, you get rid of it.
And
With the ground
you
beef,
cut it into different chunks, and so it's not all one
Mhm.
piece of meat. So really, you're just getting a raw strand. Yeah.
Mhm. Although you'll generally be fine, but
And if you're not, you'll die. It's great.
yep. All right, over under 10 minutes in the movie until he's giving her a foot massage.
I've seen this movie, so I can't tell you. Under.
Under okay.
Yeah. Because it's nothing if not typecast. Sounds right. Vaudeville, baby. It's a good gimmick. Every show you tell a joke.
I'm weird. I've got a rubber band and chapstick, and I'm just like,
What the heck?
I don't know.
My man out here fidgeting.
Yes,
I'm weird. I got a cup of Pepsi.
that is weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I own this movie, and I can't remember if I own it on DVD. I know I have it on VHS, but I can't remember if I have the DVD too, or if it's just VHS. Oh, mine just froze. Give me a second. Where are you at?
40-35.
Okay. I might have to refresh, so just give me a second. This hasn't happened in a couple of weeks. And obviously it's not anything else. $40.35. Vanilla Coke.
She's like holding the straw and looking down.
It's still freezing. This is so weird. Like obviously you and like Okay, I'm there. Ready? Three,
Yep.
2, 1, go.
You're breathing in your mic again.
You're breathing in your mic again.
No, I'm not.
$5. This Pepsi's
He's
definitely not
just
worth $5.
he's just sitting there chilling, and she's waiting on her foot massage.
She lied. And she sits there sucking on a cherry. The Osage called it crow speak. I learned that when I went and saw Killers. Yeah. The cool part about that was Robert De Niro. We just went cheep, cheep, cheep. It was hilarious. John Travolta has never not been cool. Go to the bathroom and powder my nose. Lies. Lies, I tell you. Lies. Whoa. One must love off-brand Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Powder nose.
Like I said, powder.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm looking to see if there's more trivia for this. That is my personal favorite thing. So Samuel L. Jackson's hair in this movie is a wig.
I figured.
I didn't. He
I know he had hair, but I figured this was a wig.
so his character was supposed to have a gigantic afro, but then they pulled out the one Jerry curl wig and liked it. As this is just an exercise in big words.
Are you learning English better from this?
English, mother trucker, do you speak it? Who doesn't love the twist? Five will get you 10. She has sore feet after this.
They just need a massage.
So Uma Thurman
And he
hates
needs
the
to
song. Oh, keep
And he
going.
needs to find a window.
So Uma Thurman hated the song they play here. Said it didn't work at all, and Tarantino's like, "It does. It's perfect. Just wait." And well, we're about to get.
She's swimming.
Sorry, was in a bit of a roommate's dispute. Fun stuff.
Nowadays, you can't do that feet shot because people are going to go crazy.
Again, Tarantino has a thing. Also, the music for the scene is perfect.
John Travolta was just vibing during that scene.
John Travolta spends a lot of this movie vibing. We proved that with the heroin earlier. I just sent you a thing, by the way. Did you see what I sent you, Grant?
Mm-hmm.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I did.
Entertaining, is it not? The music is spot on in this movie.
Excuse me. I'm gonna take a wild guess here and say that's not what's about to happen.
Well, I don't know. I wish I'd seen this movie before.
Oof. That's so bad.
Man's just chilling, eating this bowl of cereal. It's just calm and collected. The TV perfectly. Just dandy. Print color. Print color. Does he look like a? I love how they just like drop her to have this conversation. She's just sitting there. She. $263. My friends can handle their eyes. Why is Uma Thurman ODing funny in this movie? So, Grant, do you like this movie?
It's a movie. I don't really know what to think at this point. We still got like over an hour and a half left. So,
and we haven't actually gotten to the story yet.
Yeah.
Movie. In case you haven't figured it out, the movie's out of order.
Is what?
Out of order. It's like we learn different. It all plays back in. You'll see. The editing is fantastic, is my point. I love how like she's just sitting there like ticked off as they're trying to save this poor girl.
Mm-hmm.
See the foot massage. The day I bring an OD. No. I gotta stab her 3 times. Kind of curious about that myself. And that, my friends, is how Uma Thurman became Poison Ivy. At least she has a sense of humor after, Nearly dying. She just looks goth. But she's still alive, so. Cool. Nearly dies. It's not funny. It's like most of my jokes. They're Skillen's face. It's just not funny. Damn. Dang. Darn. Doofus. Sometimes what you're thinking and what you're saying is the same thing, and it's terrible.
I had that moment in the raid yesterday. If you heard one of the things I said,
I did.
in my head, I'm like, where did that come from?
Where did it go? In my case, it went to the internet.
Yeah. I said it, and I'm like, I genuinely don't know where that came from.
Christopher Walken. I love Christopher Walken. He's the more cowbell guy. Bruce Dickinson. Like you do.
Dane Coolidge. Checks out. He died of dysentery.
That reminds me of the Florida Man stories
Yes.
and like the ones on your birthday. Mine was Florida Man denies drugs found in rectum are his.
Well, that's Jameis Winston, right? He
Mhm.
didn't steal those crab legs. Somebody shoved them up his pants.
Get the Jameis Winston W speech.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that video?
I have not.
In the NFL, he gave a speech about W's and then went to eat the W.
Weird.
Rumor has it that's why he left Tampa Bay because they didn't want him back after that.
I believe that. I just love that story, and that's how Christopher Walken got his fever for more cowbell. He shoved a watch up his keister for 2 years. That's the Women's Boxing Association. Like the WNBA, except more people watch it.
Which one?
It's Paul again. My name's Paul. This between y'all. I love that line. Again, quotable movie. Best lines ever.
Almost as good as her line.
Nah.
So good she wanted too much.
Bruce Willis only worked on this film for 18 days. The quote Jules uses from Ezekiel 25:17, when Nick Fury died in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, his headstone reads, "The path of the righteous man," Ezekiel 25:17.
Zach Gallen and Nate Eovaldi are dueling right now.
Ooh.
It's a 0-0 game at the bottom of the sixth. Gallen's only had one walk.
Wow.
Not allowed to hit all game thus
Jeez.
far. So he's got a no-hitter so far in the closeout game. Or no, that'd be Eovaldi. The closeout. Eovaldi's walked 5. Holy cow. How do they not given up a run? Walked 5 and allowed 4 hits. He's just kind of like, lol, sucks to suck.
Yep. The largest chunk of the budget, $150K, went to creating Jackrabbit Snips. Passage from the Bible that Jules has memorized was mostly made up by Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson. The first part about the righteous man, the tyranny of evil men, is not real. However, the second half, quote, "And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger, and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee," quote, unquote, is a direct quote from Ezekiel 25:17. It's likely that Tarantino included it as a reference to Shinichi Sonny Chiba, to that film, um, Bodyguard Kiba, as the quote is almost word for word from the opening scene. Tarantino has also said he was a big fan of the actor and therefore likely to have seen the movie.
Interesting. Breathing.
Knoxville, Tennessee, where Butch was meeting his connection and where his great grandfather bought the gold watch, is also Quentin Tarantino's birthplace.
Fun fact. Daniel Day-Lewis wanted the role of Vincent Vega, but Tarantino turned it down for Travolta. Daniel Day-Lewis.
When you're sitting like you are now is when I can hear you breathing in
Interesting.
your mic.
Early in production, Tarantino had contemplated casting Tim Roth as Vincent and Gary Oldman as Jules, rewriting those characters as two English guys.
Interesting.
So instead of Samuel L. Jackson with the hair, imagine Gary Oldman with the same hair. No.
Translated to English, my love, the adventure begins.
So we're clear. So just so we're all on the same page. Remember, mon amour, love on Sean, come on. Look at that. Out of the 54 cast members, 50 of them are listed as known for this movie. Somebody needs to get Bruce Willis some clothes.
Um, you're breathing in your mic. I told you.
There we go.
It's for whatever reason, it's like almost specifically that angle.
So weird. I'm just reading through. According to her manager, Julia Louis-Dreyfus turned down the role of Mia Wallace due to her commitment to Seinfeld. Seinfeld. Melda is crap.
I think Zach Gallen's about to get pulled. Just allowed to run on first and third with no outs.
Yikes. For a second there, I thought you were talking about this movie. I'm like, Zach Gallen? Sylvester Stallone was briefly considered for the role of Butch. I would imagine after Rocky. For once, a woman knows what she wants. Christopher Walken won an Oscar? John Travolta turned down the role of Seth Gecko in From Dusk Till Dawn, which is also a Quentin Tarantino movie, to be in this film, saying, quote, "It's simple, Quentin. I'm just not a vampire guy." He's chill, calm, cool, collected.
She looks like a mind reader. I thought all the French were mind readers.
I can't say what I'm thinking.
Hmm. Wayman.
Like, Hmm. you're breathing into your mic, fool.
Yeah.
You keep going back to where you're doing it.
Yeah, I keep getting close to the microphone. I know. Yeah. We have an hour to go in this movie. And I believe I'm going to take a brief leave of absence. So enjoy carrying this by yourself.
How long you're going to be gone for?
Like a minute max.
Okay. We took over the show, boys. Let's be honest, nobody's here. We're an hour and a half in. Hour 35 in. Nobody's here. But if you are, hello. Glad you're here. Comment the show's better without Grant if you're still here. Because it is.
And we're back. You are looking live. On I-35.
So
And
John
Vincent-
Travolta's dead.
Yeah, I know. I heard it. Also, I know this movie. He Machine Gun Kelly'd, huh?
Yeah. Hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Literally. With the Pop-Tarts and everything.
Yeah, that got, I think, left in the toaster.
Of course, because after you shoot somebody, you leave.
Yes. In your own house. No less.
Right. Well, when you're on the run from the mob because you unfixed a fight,
Yeah, and killed the guy.
if you unfix something, do you break it? Did he break the fight?
He made the fight fair, not fixed.
Oh, I know this band. What's the name of this song? Changing my background.
So this is the grown kid from the beginning of the movie. Then,
By the beginning of the movie,
well,
this is the
not
this is the kid with the watch. This is
Yeah.
the Statler brothers. Flowers on the Wall. I knew that. Yeah, we met him as an adult first, though. Just so you know. Oof.
Bruce Chillis because he needs to chill out.
Mm-hmm. I love how he hits Marcellus Wallace. Like, what are the odds? Again, this movie's just cool, right? Like, I don't know. It's just cool. It's a comic book. No dip.
Stank in with the stank leg. He's drunk walking.
Christopher Walken. To be clear, I don't think he was ever drunk.
I'm just saying the way he's
I'm just-
walking.
Quentin Tarantino originally wanted Christopher Jones for the role of Zed. Christopher Jones would have been James Dean's successor, and I don't know who Christopher Jones is. Like, I can't. He's known for movies I've never seen. This is included in the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies. Which, I mean, I believe. Oh, this is Maynard. Zed is the one that Christopher Jones was wanted for. Oh, what's the guy's name? I've been talking about it for 3 days. The NBA player we were talking about last night.
Dwight Howard?
Yeah, Dwight Howard's in this scene. Just a heads up.
Oh no.
He's not gay or anything. He's just into some freaky stuff. Dwight Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Except me. Nobody kills anybody in my place of business except me or Zed. I don't know why this movie's funny, but it is. Like, it's hilarious. It's just also
Because of
very,
the cast.
yeah, but it's also depressing. The kid that played young Butch has only ever been in one movie. His did you know fact is became a solution specialist at Verizon Wireless in Wilmar.
Nice.
So I guess if you wanted to track him down, he was 3 years old. He's now a resident of Wilmar, Minnesota as of 2017. Loves anime, manga in general. One Piece, Naruto, and Slayers are three of his favorites. Graduated from high school and now gone off to college, 2004. He used his IMDb as a freaking MySpace blog. Trying to provide some levity to this interesting situation. Just wait for Dwight Howard to show up. He'll be here.
I mean, I'm not waiting for it, but
He's not actually in this movie. Just
I know what you're referencing, though.
mm-hmm. This is just one of those scenes where you go, how the heck did anyone ever write this? Ever. Dwight Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Allegedly. Zed and Maynard are brothers, according to the screenplay. Fun fact. Zed is the only police officer to appear in this film, for the record. All American. Hey, why not? Dwight Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Allegedly. You okay? You lost all your LA privileges. Might as well. And that,
Was a scene.
it was a scene. It fits perfectly in with the rest of the movie, doesn't it? You sit there and go, huh, this checks out. $5 shake, a little bit of boat racing, normal stuff.
We're in danger.
Had to crash that Honda. Which, I mean, to be fair, it is a Honda. Like, they are made to be crashed.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a traumatic event, too. She had to get the buttermilk. The Twilight Zone theme. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. This might be the stupidest trivia fact I've ever seen. Vincent mentions that European cinemas serve beer, unlike in America. In the 21st century, it is now commonplace for movie theaters to serve alcohol. That tells me so much about this movie, man. No.
He smelled the Freedom Deagle. I think that was a Deagle.
I don't know. was. Uh,
I think I've seen this before.
oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. So they edited out a scene where, or a part of that scene where we see Marvin's head explode to avoid the NC-17, so they could keep it an R-rated movie.
I've seen this clip from somewhere,
I
like
think
on
I sent it to
YouTube.
you a while ago.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. That's Tarantino, by the way. he came under fire for writing that line for himself.
I'm sure he did.
And Samuel L. Jackson said, "Shut up."
Yeah, but say Sam is in this scene.
Yeah.
Is it really a big deal? It writes Samuel L. Jackson and then gives himself the N word. I'm just saying, like you said, he came under fire. I can see why, especially when you can like take that into account.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, let's be honest. Samuel L. Jackson said the other one more than once.
Well, yeah.
That's all. Harvey Keitel, ladies and gentlemen. Man's looking at a car with a dead dude. I love how cool the wolf is. I like normal. All I can tell you is still alive as you blinked.
Me?
Yeah, you. Just I can feel you. Uncle Conrad, and then Uncle Marcellus. An oat man. Dwight Howard makes a second appearance.
Don't drop it. That was really quick to get all that blood off.
It was. Well, let's be honest. Just a high-powered hose is all it takes. So, if you were paying attention earlier in the movie when they walk into the bar and we see Bruce Willis for the first time, they were dressed in those clothes.
I was not paying that much attention.
Paul even mentions that they're wearing something weird.
I don't even remember the first time we saw Bruce Willis, if I'm honest.
Remember when he's in the scene talking to Marcellus, and Marcellus is telling him he goes down in the fifth.
What?
Is telling him that he goes down in the fifth to fix the fight.
No, I don't remember that at all.
The scene with the my name's Paul and this is between y'all.
Yeah, whatever was right after that, I have no recollection.
It was before that, but yeah. So they were
Close enough.
They were wearing those clothes. Lash Maru. Call him Winston. You got a little meta there. And there he goes. Cool. English Bob was the character that Paul became because Paul became Paul because his name's Paul and this is between y'all.
You don't eat dogs?
I mean, I can't say that. I can't say that. Though I did go to Panda Express this past weekend. Green Acres reference, everybody. Oh, serious. Grant has fallen asleep.
I'm just continuing to fidget with the rubber band and the chapstick.
And it all loops back around. That wig is hilarious.
It's bad. It's not even a good wig.
No, but I didn't realize it was a wig until I read it. So. John Travolta spends a lot of time in this movie in the bathroom. Which I guess is fitting because before this, his career was kind of in the toilet.
The disrespect.
No, like seriously, this is regarded as his second comeback. It was like welcome back, Cotter, all over again. Dang. In the bag.
In the bag.
In the big.
I don't think he has it under control.
I don't think he has it under control either.
Rhymes, case, face.
With the F-bomb in there, he might be Eminem. Chicka, 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 slim. So the Ringo line is a reference to Ringo Starr, who was, I believe, the Beatles' drummer. Earlier in the movie, there was a scene that was cut out where Uma Thurman's character talks about how there are two types of people. There's either the Beatles people or Elvis people. That's for some reason instated in some TV versions. So when she calls Travolta an Elvis man, he's already admitted to being an Elvis man in that deleted scene. This guy obviously is a Beatles person. It's interesting. Which is a Fonzie reference from Happy Days.
3 points to Gryffindor.
My father will hear about this.
He's a Slytherin. If he didn't know.
Like a cute cucumber. Except for Marvin. He just got shot. He's in a transitional period.
Just like his lightsaber from when he was Mace Windu. Not even a joke. It did. No, shoot him on general principle. Outrageous. Such a good scene. He leads her out traumatized. What a movie. Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. So Grant, there you have it. Your first Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
imagine you have thoughts.
I do indeed.
Alrighty. Well, for production reasons, you're not going to get to say anything because I'm removing you. I guess we should get into the review. Hello, and welcome to Through the Monocle. Today, we will be discussing Pulp Fiction from 1994. As always, I'm your host, Grant Ingram, and 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 26 seconds into this recording, I am joined today by the Marcellus Wallace to my Butch. It is Grant Skillen. How you doing, Grant?
I'm here.
Did you enjoy your time with Dwight Howard? No, he did not. Allegedly, he did not. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Grant, you just sat through Pulp Fiction. Give me some general thoughts.
So my primary thought is just there's not a story.
There are 4, 5 stories, something like each chapter is its own story.
But it's just like the stuff connects, but it's like what gets accomplished ultimately.
They get the briefcase. Butch gets his money. And escapes. Marcellus Wallace's wife gets taken out on the date that isn't a date and survives. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so nothing happened. You have 2.5 hours of building to diddly squat.
No, it built to that final scene, but it really didn't build. Each individual story.
It's a funny movie, don't get me wrong, but in terms of like the story, it's like, what is it?
What do you mean?
It's just you have a bunch of different stuff that happens and it comes back to the beginning, but it's at the end of it you go, I just watched a bunch of stuff and I don't know what just happened.
Well, they got the briefcase. They completed their mission.
Which we don't know what it is.
Yeah, we don't know what the briefcase was. There are people who have come up with some theories. The biggest one being it's Marcellus Wallace's soul, as evidenced by the Band-Aid on the back of his neck in the first time we see him. Somehow that was his soul being removed. I don't know. But yeah, we don't know what's in the briefcase, but that's what they were sent out to do. They accomplished that. But like it was also about Honey Bunny and Ringo. Yeah,
but you get a whole bunch of build-up before it, and then you get a whole bunch after, and it's just like, okay, it's you get the different pieces, but it's like I almost get the sense like don't get me wrong, it's a funny movie. Obviously, I laughed at it, but it's like just I don't know.
I think it would make more sense to you if you mentally put it in order. There used to be a chronological version of it. It got taken down pretty quickly. So if you put it in order, it starts off with Jules and Vincent going to Brett's to get the case.
Mm-hmm.
They get the case, then they get shot at, then they shoot Marvin, then they go to the diner.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they go to Marcellus's bar to deliver the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bruce Willis storyline happens.
Yeah.
And then Vincent... Well, wait, not all of the Bruce Willis storyline. Some of it. Because Vincent takes out Marcellus's wife before he dies. So, rather, they go to the bar. We set up the Vincent storyline, or the Bruce Willis storyline. Then Vincent takes out Mia Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
All of that happens. And then the Bruce Willis stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes the Bruce Willis stuff the true climax of the movie. It is the last thing to happen.
Yeah, but it barely connects. And the reason it connects is because he kills him. Otherwise, there's like there's the little bit of overlap of the mob wants him because he didn't go with the fixed fight, then he kills the guy. But it's just it just doesn't feel like a complete coherent story. Like it doesn't go from point A to point B, and I know it's not like put in order, but even when you put it out the way you do, like in that order, it's like I just still don't. It's a funny movie. The jokes are great. There's a lot of great moments, but I think it lacks in the story.
Interesting, because I always found the stories to be great. I think that might
Because
also be part of the disconnect. There are three.
But
Like,
you said the main thing is the briefcase, and it's okay. They go get the briefcase, they kill the guy, they take it back to him. That's it. Then you get the Bruce Willis stuff, which is after where he kills him, and it's that, and it's connected in some ways, but it's also like you just see the same character.
well,
that
each of the
Dwight
three
Howard
stories
is.
are distinct, even though there is very little. There's a little bit of character overlap. They are three
Yeah,
distinct stories, so they go from
yeah,
point A to point B to another point A to point B to another point
yeah.
A to point B.
You've got 45-minute TV shows put together in a movie that aren't coherently connected.
But somehow it ties in to each other to where you get a picture of what this mob is like in LA.
Eh,
I've never seen another movie like it. That's what I like about it personally. Is
yeah,
that
and I
it
think
is
that's a
three
good thing.
stories. I mean, man, are you really saying you thought Pulp Fiction's story was bad?
That's what I said. Yeah,
All right.
that's
You said
that's
it. You said what exactly? Repeat yourself here.
I said it's a funny movie. It's got great moments, but the story itself is not good.
Pulp Fiction, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna put that on Instagram because that's hilarious. I think you're. I mean, I get what you're saying. I understand it completely.
It's like Goodfellas. It's like, okay, that's not for me. But it's a coherent story the whole way through. Departed, I like the Departed story the whole way through.
I guess I look at it more like Memento, where it because it's out of order. Like each of those are their own little story, and then it
I'm trying
cuts
to
all
think.
back together into a long story.
I'm trying to think back. Well, the different Memento's the one with the magicians, right?
No, Memento's the one where
No.
the guy's wife died and he can't remember anything for very long.
I try to remember that. I don't have a ton of memory from that episode.
You said you liked it, but it's the one where he's like tattooing himself to try to remember things, and it takes place out of order. And like it slowly builds. Like it almost takes place backwards. This one is similar, and like again, I get what you're saying. It's not one complete story about Jules and Vincent.
Yeah, you've got 3 different 45-ish minute stories
Well,
within a 2.5 hour long movie, and I sit here at the end going, okay, it's funny, but what real story is there?
well, you get so if you choose to follow a specific character, you get entire stories about that character. That's another cool thing. We see Vincent Vega pull off this heist, or not really heist, but get the briefcase, take it back, go take out Marcellus Wallace's wife on a date. She ODs, save her life, and then get machine gunned down.
Mm-hmm.
This is all one day. So maybe the coherent story is it's like one day, or maybe I guess 2 days. It's not very long. But we see that entire lifespan, right? He dies.
Mm-hmm.
We see Samuel L. Jackson get the briefcase, go take it to Marcellus, and retire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another story. We see Marcellus go through an arc where he gets mad at Bruce Willis and boat raced, and then that ends. We see Bruce Willis go through an arc where he decides to unfix the fight and then escapes. So like it follows each of them. It follows them kind of weirdly, but like there's definitely
And the only connection is the mob. They're very loosely connected parts.
right. It's about individual people. It's not about an overarching event. It's not about a thing. It's about people.
Yeah, and I would. That's kind of the problem I have with it, is that it's not overall one story. It's 3 different stories told at different times throughout one movie. So you're cutting back and forth between 3 basically entirely different stories throughout the movie.
Right.
And so it feels incoherent as it's going on. as you lay it out in order, it still, to me, is like, okay, what's the connection here? And then it's like, okay, just make each thing an individual thing instead of putting the three together into the movie.
But if you don't put the three together into the movie, you don't get the movie. You get 3 TV shows that are. It's an anthology. It's an anthology miniseries at that point. Like,
which I think would be better because you can actually follow it.
Yeah, but you can follow this. That's what I'm saying. You
Much
can
more
follow
easily.
it. It just doesn't go from point A to point B in the 2.5-hour runtime. Now, if you wanted to take it that way, it does. It just takes a meander.
It goes to A to Q to F to C to Z to Y to throw in another letter M.
Really, it's 3. If you're going with the 3 stories, it's 3 stories that all go from point A to point B. But if you're not, it goes from point A to point B with an hour and a half in the middle going from point A to point B and point A to point B. The 2 stories in the middle start and end in the middle. They're not out of order. The only thing that's really out of order is the very beginning where we see Honey Bunny and Ringo talking. And then that first scene with Jules and Vincent. And then the last scene with Jules and Vincent and Honey Bunny and Ringo. So like the beginning and the end tie together. The middles tie themselves up. We just have a break between the beginning and the end.
Yeah, but you're going from here to here to here, which it's, I don't know. We can keep going, but I feel like we're just going to keep repeating the same thing.
I definitely agree. But I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's not the takeaway. There are definitely funny moments from it. Like, we can't repeat all the jokes, but Samuel L. Jackson is great.
He is fantastic.
John Travolta, the 2 of them together are great.
Mm-hmm. I would have killed for a sequel, but John Travolta dies. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie.
And I've seen the scene where he said it was Marcellus. Is that his name? The guy that gets shot in the backseat?
No, that wasn't Marcellus. No, Marcellus was the leader. It's Marvin.
So we've been here for 2 hours and 45 minutes, which also makes it hard to make my thoughts coherent. It's like the movie's not coherent. What was the guy's name? Sorry, I heard it. And
Marvin.
And Marvin, yeah.
Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Great. Yeah. And then you get like the John Travolta with the looking around meme. Yeah, it's classic.
I loved them in Jackrabbit Slims, like with the dancing and everything. I thought it was fantastic. That's one of my favorite scenes in movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Uma Thurman's great in the parts that she's in.
Yeah.
I mean, all the actors are great. It's just, to me, it just comes back to, I don't know, like, it's funny.
You don't like the writing?
I like the writing with the jokes, but just the way the story is told, I'm not a fan of.
To be clear, this movie did win an Oscar for screenwriting. Just to be clear, it won an Oscar for screenwriting the year that Forrest Gump and The Shawshank Redemption came out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, the comedy is great. Like, it's a funny movie. I just don't like the way the story is put together.
Fair enough. So if you had to put a letter grade on it. Well, he thinks on that. I am just going to say I really like this is one of my favorites. I love this movie.
I mean, in terms of what we normally do with the pass fail, it is a pass. Like, I'm not sitting here saying it's a bad movie.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, I know. I get what you're saying wholeheartedly. Like, I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like, you're just docking it for what makes it great. Like that, like your favorite or your least favorite part of the movie is my favorite part of the movie.
Mm-hmm. The letter grade I'm sitting around is somewhere around a B.
Fair enough. So you are one of the 8%. Darn.
Okay, saying it's like an 85 is not the same as saying it's an awful movie.
Fair enough. No, I get what you mean, and I'm with you on all of it. Except again, your least favorite part of the movie is what makes it great, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I guess we'll just agree to disagree and be back here next week to do it again. What was your favorite line in the movie?
I gotta look it up because my brain is
Personally, I like the back and forth between
Brent is
Brett.
Pulp currently.
Yeah. Personally, I like the back and forth between Brett and Jules. The English? Do you speak it?
That one's funny.
Yeah.
The chopper one was funny with all the stuff about the motorcycle. It's a chopper. Okay, well, whose is it?
Whose chopper is
oh,
it?
it's Zed's. Who's Zed? Oh, he's dead. Don't worry about it.
Zed's dead, honey. Zed's dead. I love it
Mhm.
so much. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I really like the movie. I completely understand what you're saying about it not being one cohesive story. I got that. Like
Mhm.
I'm
The
not
other, sorry, the other one is after he saves Marcellus. That sequence is another good one.
the whole what now?
Yeah.
What's
I'll call a couple. Yeah. That one.
Yeah. Mr. Soon to be living the rest of his short butt life in agonizing pain.
Yeah.
It's such a quotable movie. Unless you're white, and then you can't quote most of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess we can kind of wrap it up then. 2 hours and 51 minutes into this recording. At this point,
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a shorter review.
It is currently sitting at 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this, be back next week. We'll be talking about another Tarantino. I believe Django Unchained was what we had mentioned, but it could be Kill Bill. It's going to be one of those two. We'll see kind of how we feel, because at some point we're going to have to cover a 4-hour-long movie, but we're going to see when we feel like doing that.
I mean, feel like never.
Okay, but want to. So
Also, don't want to sit here for 4 hours.
We will be. Heck, we might do it.
What is that mysterious ticking noise?
Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, you can give us money so Grant feels better about sitting here for 5 hours. You can do that by going to patreon.com/theculturednerd. That helps fund giveaways and fun stuff and keep these lights on, or in my case, off, because it is expensive. The software we use is expensive. Like, it does take a lot, and we really appreciate all of those of you who are patrons. As always, I've been your host, Grant Ingram.
And I have been the very hated co-host, Grant Skillen, by Grant and by all of you, because of my wonderful, always correct opinions. Thank you to each of our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Jose for the logo and Taylor for the intro.
Yep. And thank you, the viewer, for joining us. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe. That also helps out in the future. If we do another giveaway, then you don't have to do that then. You can check out more of The Culture Nerd by scanning that QR code there on the left. You can check out more of Much Talk About Nothing, the rest of what we do there on the right. I might be dropping an episode of that this weekend. Haven't decided yet. We'll see. But without further ado, catch you next week.